So this might be kind of muddy river water, possibly tainted by a drunk man's piss.
Oh shit.
Hello and welcome to London, where classy Hugh Grant type characters roam the streets dispensing wit and piss.
Yes, that's quite nice.
And welcome once again to another momentous episode of Cool Shit We Got Sent This Week. And this week, as you can tell,
it's
an
a survival
outdoor
special.
Survival special.
Survival.
We're so into it, we're saying it jointly. Because you're a very outdoorsy kind of guy, Spence.
I spend at least half of my time outside.
At least half. Obviously the first and most amazing piece of outdoor survival kind of type equipment.
Yeah,
the Jeep.
Got the Jeep Wrangler. Yeah, it's a pretty extreme piece of kit, isn't it? It's like
that is like a well wicked whip, bruv.
Yeah.
Oi, who's that bully for me? Oi, who's that bully for me? Oi, who's that bully for me? The one around back, I just don't give it him a like, oh.
What do you want?
This is worse than the Montenegro music.
It's like a proper off-roading car.
Yeah. It goes quite nicely around the streets of London as well.
Goes nice around the streets of London. I drove it down to Dorset yesterday.
Nobody wants to mess with you.
No,
when you're in that car.
everyone does kind of like part out of your way.
What's its full title?
Yeah, so it's a Jeep Wrangler, 2.8 litre engine, which you can't buy anymore. You can go and get a 3 litre engine, so it's even more powerful. Okay,
yeah, it does seem quite throaty and powerful. It's not a subtle car.
Yeah, no, the car we're driving has 200 brake horsepower.
Nice, that's a lot of horsepowers.
Yeah. Of course, it's also very heavy. It's got live axles at the front and rear, so it can, do all that sort of extreme off-roading stuff. It's pretty beastly. And of course,
mainly, it's got a really, really booming sound system.
Yeah, good sound system, and you can
great for urban music. We played some ABBA on it, and it sounded like shit, to be honest. But as soon as you fire up the UK Garage or Grime or whatever,
it's like they designed it with that in mind.
Exactly, shit is wild.
And you can take the roof off as well, and still have the roll cage. And,
well, as we demonstrated.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool piece of shit. How much does it cost?
It's quite pricey.
Is it? Because Jeeps are usually, as that kind of thing goes, like relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, but like the engineering in that machine, it doesn't come cheap. So prices start around £30,000. So that you can get in a Evoque, which is a lot more luxurious. But I prefer the Wrangler, to be honest.
I prefer to keep it real. I'm not into luxury, so yeah. So I would really like that car. I think as long as you were there to drive me around in it. Well, we've done the car, we got the wheels. So what about our arms?
Yeah.
You've come dressed for basically some kind of like Arctic military expedition.
Yeah. Of course, like clothes are super important when you're outside. So you've got the Musto.
That is such a brilliant insight. Clothes are super important when you're outside. Yeah,
yeah, naturally.
You can just ask that guy who keeps on getting arrested for walking around in the nuddy. Yeah, so what's that?
Yeah, so
I was going to say Canada Goose, but it's not.
No, it's Musto Arctic Pro.
It does look very pro. Massive reflectory things.
Yeah, it's got massive reflectors, it's Gore-Tex, Primaloft Gold, like it will keep you warm even when it's very cold.
Pretty cool.
Of course, also got the hats. So this is a...
that just looks like a hat.
It's a 66 North hat, but it's super insulated.
Insulated with what?
Lots of...
stuff.
Good,
Lots
of stuff.
Spencer's got a hat.
You also need a backup hat, don't you? So
yeah, you do.
This one's Polartec. A lot more lightweight and it won't get wet.
Polartec is good, yeah. Polartec's like very quick to dry. It's kind of good. It kind of wicks quite well if you get a bit too hot, although maybe take your hat off if you're getting that hot.
Of course, also got the one final thing. These amazing shoes.
The least attractive shoes in the world.
Apart from Crocs.
Oh yeah, well they're better than Crocs, yeah.
Yeah. So these it's like paracord, keeps your feet ventilated. Maybe not so good for Arctic expeditions, but Tom Hanks on
for
a
wearing
island.
in places where people might see you.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I've got, speaking of, so this, I mean, is that the most over-engineered boot you've ever seen or what?
It is.
That's from a company called Boggs, very glamorous. Basically, you got your big handles for putting it on, and you got a wedge on the back for pushing it off.
Nice.
And then it's kind of lined inside with warm stuff. And then this is quite clever, well, in a way. This is, well, it's from Berghaus, but it's the fabric that's clever. It's treated so that even if you wear it for a week on a kind of active, outdoorsy campsiting type thing, it never starts to stink.
That's useful.
It is, like a lot of people could find that useful. The only problem with it is that I don't know if I'd wear it in the first place.
Yeah, it's very checked, isn't it?
It's like, it's not my style,
Dad
but
chic.
if I wanted to not stink after a week of heavy kind of barbecuing and yomping activities, this is what I'd buy.
That's what you go for. And of course, that jacket as well.
This is more what I would wear outdoors. It may just look like a Burberry overcoat, but it's actually a Burberry overcoat with a kind of heated
gilet.
Gilet, yes, I guess you would call that a gilet. And it's got a battery pack. So now, on top of everything else, when you go to bed at night and you charge up your phone, your smartwatch, your tablet, you have to charge up your coat. It is toasty.
Brilliant.
So if I was ever in, an avalanche, I could use that to like hollow out the snow and stay both safe and stylish whilst awaiting rescue.
So that sort of thing matters when you're in an avalanche situation.
Yeah, and also I've got a torch on my head.
Yes.
We haven't mentioned that yet. LED lenser. This is the most, I don't know, it's probably not the most powerful head torch in the world, but it's bloody powerful.
Yeah.
I actually did take this camping, and it's basically, it's like a, you probably can't tell because we're in daylight here, but it's pretty much like a car headlamp. It didn't make me enormously popular around the campfire, because when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody and you're blasting them in the face at point blank range with
all those lumens,
a lot of lumens, I was kind of very nearly physically assaulted. But it's great for finding the toilets.
Yeah. Speaking of torches.
Oh yeah, and then this is the same company, but even bigger.
I wouldn't even dare put this on outside.
I mean, I don't know where to point this.
We were specifically told not to point it at anyone.
When you're handed something and the PR guy says, yeah, whatever you do, don't point it at anybody's face because they probably will go blind. Well, take it from me, that's very bright.
Okay.
And also, I mean, look at the size of it. If you're a security guard on a dark night, you would feel so happy to have this.
Definitely.
If anybody tries any funny business, you could first blind them in both their eyes and then beat them to death.
If only Leo had one of those in the Revenant.
Well, what, to beat the bear to death with?
Okay.
Yeah, well, it does prevent you being bummed by bears. Oh yeah, this is my favourite thing.
Space saving, folds out into a full-size cup.
Pretty much a full-size cup. That's the ultimate English camping gadget.
Yeah, of course. And also survival.
Well, yes. Because again, it's like the style thing, maybe you're in dire straits, maybe it is like the Revenant, maybe you have just been mauled and perhaps sexually abused by a bear.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you can't look stylish and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
That film would have been so improved by Leonardo DiCaprio post-bear attack going, well, but at least I've got my cup.
and this drink over.
Right, finally, I should have flagged this up earlier. So this, I don't know if you can even see because it's so dark. Basically, that's out the Grand Union Canal.
Mixed with a bit of mud as well.
But then it turned out, yeah, the Grand Union Canal, the water actually is really clear.
Drink it without that.
Really disappointingly pure. So I literally added a few handfuls of mud to it. And then, funnily enough, in exactly the spot I got the mud from, that was where the hobo was having a piss earlier.
Yeah.
So this might be kind of muddy river water, possibly tainted by a drunk man's piss.
You go first.
And that isn't how they advertise this product. But what it basically is a water filtering thing, but it works in real time, so you don't have to wait for it to run through the filter. Yeah. The filter is in there. You'll have to trust me on that because unfortunately you can't see it.
What's it have in the filter? Charcoal, is it?
All the filtering stuff.
Yeah, charcoal.
It filters out kind of like, well, mud obviously, but more importantly it filters out bacteria, parasites, hopefully.
Yes.
Because, yeah, so basically you just like suck it through the straw. Should I gargle with it, just so people can tell that...
What does it taste like? Does it still taste like quite dirty?
Do you know what? Although that's very muddy water, it only tastes like slightly muddy water.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Do you want to go?
I'll have a quick go. It tastes like London tap water, to be honest.
It's no worse than tap water I've had on various holidays, or indeed in London. So yeah, that's called Lifestraw, and they do all manner of other similar products, so you get much larger ones for filtering large quantities of water for your camping party.
Yeah. Oh shit. Fuck.
Go.
Well, sorry about the rather abrupt ending to that video, but unfortunately Spencer got a parking ticket for his nice new Jeep. We really rushed through that, but we wanted to fit in as many outdoorsy, fun items as possible, and you can read much more about them in the descriptions and links underneath this video. Thanks for watching, thanks for liking, and see you next time. Bosh!
What is this? What do you want?
This is worse than the Montenegrin music. Oi by More Fire Crew. Or we could go for Too Many Mans by Boy Better Known.